Hi, Palabo here. While I'm working on episodes for the next season, I'll give you some flashback episodes. You get 3 episodes per week. This one is episode 80. It was recorded in April 2017, and it's from my visit to Nicaragua. Before I click the play button, I'd like to ask you to do me a favor. If you like this podcast, tell a friend. Think of someone in your life that likes to travel, and then tell that person about this podcast. I'm dead serious. Do it right now. Send them a message, an email, or give them a call. This is the best way for me to have more people find this podcast, and this would be your way of helping me grow this podcast. If you don't like this podcast, don't. But if you do, please do. Okay, let's go to Nicaragua.
Lo peor son los políticos, porque son corruptos y se han enriquecido con los recursos de Nicaragua.
Meet Palabo, a digital nomad from Denmark on an epic journey around the world.
My name is Palabo, and I'm a long-time radio producer. In 2013, I started planning to become a digital nomad and a full-time traveler. 3 years later, I had sold my house, my car, and all my furniture. And in July 2016, I set out on a quest to visit every country in the world. In this podcast, I'm taking you along on my journey. And I'm sharing my ups and downs and let you listen in to conversations with some interesting people I meet along the way.
This is the Radio Vagabond Podcast.
It's 3:15 Chicago time, but here it's only 1:15 a.m. I'm in a van with a driver that picked me up. We have around 40 miles from Managua, where I landed, to Granada, where I'm going to be spending the next 2.5 weeks. I have arrived to Nicaragua, and this is the Radio Vagabond Podcast. I'm staying at a place called Paraíso Granada in a wonderful apartment right here in the center of Granada. It's way bigger than what I need. I have 2 big bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a living room the size of a tennis court. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit here, but it was big. And a wonderful large kitchen in one end with a huge fridge. I'm on the first floor, and from my balcony, I have a wonderful view of a courtyard and a pool right next to the restaurant. The hotel manager, Ellen Windsor, is originally from the Netherlands. She came to Nicaragua in 2001 and is now living here in Granada with her family. And her extended family, as she likes to call the staff of the hotel.
Well, listen, I think it's what it's called for everywhere in the world, but I think if the employees are happy, you reflect it in the service, so what I try to do is choose people who really love their work, but I also treat them as part of my family. I'm not a busy, bossy person at all. So I explain them if they like their job and people can see it. It makes the clients happy, it's for everybody. So the basic things, they always have lunch over here. Like what I said, if food is left over, the tips what they share with each other, and we try to set goals. So if we have an occupancy, I'm setting goals for the end of the year. If we sell more than so much, I take them to Montelimar. We get them premiums if they sell how much wines. You know, I think it's the basic thing in my opinion. And I love my job, and I think if they see it, if you like your job, you go happy to your job, you go back happy to your home.
Granada is in the western Nicaragua, 27 miles southeast of Managua, the capital of Nicaragua. With an estimated population of 125,000, Granada is Nicaragua's 6th most populous city. The apartment at Paraíso Granada is around 5 minutes walk from Calle La Calzada, a lively street with a lot of restaurants and bars, and around 6 blocks from the biggest lake in the country, Lago Cocobolca. Sorry about my Spanish.
Well, this hotel, we tried to create something different in Granada.
This is Ellen Winter again.
A place where people can relax in the center of Granada without the noise around. What we did is we built apartments. Every apartment has 2 bedrooms. So people can just come here with family, friends. They can use the kitchen. We have all the amenities. So it means a luxury kitchen, living room, dining room. But, of course, if you don't want to cook, we got a restaurant and a bar over here. We got 16 apartments, 2 bedrooms. We can fit around 65 people in the hotel. And it's just relaxing in Granada, Nicaragua, yeah.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Palle.
Palen.
Palle.
Mi nombre es Bosco.
Bosco.
Mucho gusto.
A thing that I promised myself I would do once I came to Central America was to improve my Spanish. So the day after I arrived to Granada, I walk into a small room on the other side of the road.
Agosto.
Hasta.
So, hasta.
¿Cuántos días tú quieres tomar clases? Una semana.
My Spanish is a bit rusty. I had it in school in the beginning of the 80s. Yeah, I'm that old. So it could need a brush up.
¿Es un nombre holandés?
De Dinamarca.
De Dinamarca.
Danés.
¿Tú tienes hijos?
Hijas. Dos. 20 y 23 años.
Yo tengo 22. Similar que mi padre, ¿no? Pero mi padre tiene 5 hijos.
5.
3 hijos y 2 hijas. 5.
5. Wow.
Hablas muchos idiomas. Francés.
Un poquito.
Ok. ¿Sí? Estaré aquí. Ok. Entonces, mucho gusto. Nice to meet you.
I've just enrolled in Spanish class. 5 days, 4 hours a day, very intensive one-on-one teaching, and hopefully my Spanish will be better, because it's not so good right now. I also spoke to Ellen about managing people from another country than she comes from.
Of course, education in this country is still different than in Europe. If I leave for a few days and come back, sometimes I need to repeat it again.
You see that sometimes in Asia, that the people, they do what they're told, but they don't do anything else. They don't take initiative. Do they do that here?
Well, actually, the group that I have at this moment, they're coming up with new ideas, and they tell me, we should this. So I'm like completely surprised. And so I think also we're getting now a new generation of Nicaragua. When I came here 16 years ago, it was completely different. When I went to the...
Yeah, you said 16, not 60.
Sorry, 16. Yeah, okay. Okay, 2001. That time you went to the hardware store, you only could buy one type of toilet, one type of sink. Now you got a lot of options. And that's the same. I see that people got more. The first time when I came here, I had people working in my kitchen. They didn't even know what a microwave was. So I needed to explain them how to heat up food and everything. It's not happening anymore.
Du. Él. Ella. This is me. The day before my first Spanish lesson.
Yo.
I'm back at the apartment and warming up with an app so I wouldn't show up completely blank Wednesday morning.
Yo soy el señor Paz. ¿Y usted?
Yo soy el señor Paz. ¿Y usted?
You can join me in school in a moment, But before then, let me remind you that this episode is brought to you in part by Hotels25.com. It's a website that helps you find the best price on hotels around the world. Hotels25.com, best price guaranteed.
Es miércoles ahora y voy a escuela. It's Wednesday now, and I'm going to my first Spanish lesson here in Granada, in Nicaragua.
¿Por qué le gusta el español?
Porque traveling. Viajo mucho. Soy de Dinamarca, pero viajo 1 año y 5 años más y mucho en Central America, en Sudamérica.
Wow.
I meet my teacher, Vanessa, in a small classroom. We're in the corner at a small table and we start talking in Spanish.
Visita todo el mundo.
Sí.
Vanessa is a great teacher. She doesn't allow me to speak any English, but has a good understanding of my broken Spanish and corrects me when I'm saying something wrong.
No tengo casa, no tengo nada.
Ya. No tiene una residencia.
No residencia.
Oh, wow, es libre.
Here we're talking about my traveling. I tell her that I'm trying to visit every country in the world. Todos los países en el mundo.
Sí. Wow. Todos los países.
Todos los países.
Yeah.
Tiene una lista así.
Yes, sí.
Wow.
As you probably can tell, my Spanish is anything but perfect. But let's see if it gets better. At the end of this episode, I will do my first interview in Spanish. I did that with Vanessa on my last day in school. My first interview in Spanish. You are listening to the Radio Vagabond podcast. If you like what you hear, please leave a review in iTunes. If you're listening on an iPhone, you can actually do it right there within your podcast app. The city Granada and the country itself, has that changed a lot over the 16 years?
More cars, more traffic, more tourists, but not too much. In my opinion, not too much. No, people are still the same, very friendly, very honest, happy people. That's what I see. No, it didn't change that much. No.
What is it about this country that made you fall in love with it and decided to stay? Apart from the fact that you now have a family here.
No, I think number one is the people in this country. What I still like in this country, for example, in Holland, you want to meet your friends, you need to make 2 weeks up front, tell everybody, plan dates. Here in Nicaragua, it's still, if I call my friends today, everybody shows up today. You know what? So it's. I think people here work to live instead of live only for their work. Yeah, it's quality life over here.
And now we're being served coffee.
Cappuccino, latte, and coffee.
Thank you, darling. Yes, I did say thank you, darling. I enjoy saying that. The listeners might think, oh, he's calling the waitress darling, but that's her name.
No, it is.
We say it all the time. Thank you, darling.
But you should know now a little bit of Spanish. You went to Spanish classes.
Oh, yeah, you sent me to Spanish class, and I absolutely know more, but I have a long way to go before going into the deep conversations. But yes, it was good to get a brush up. A
good reason to come back, isn't it?
But you have a Nicaraguan husband and 2 children, and they only speak Spanish. They don't speak Dutch.
Correct. My oldest daughter speaks a little bit of Dutch, but yeah, it's 99% is Spanish. Correct. Well, at school she has it's getting bilingual, English and Spanish. But for me, it's a hard time to. But I'm the only one over here, so she's not like, okay, I have friends around, so they listen to the no. Only when I talk to my parents, and then they pick up when my parents are here on holiday. They pick up Dutch very quick because they hear us talking the whole day in Dutch. Yeah, so, but no, actually everybody's blaming me. How is it possible that your kids are not not speaking Dutch? But
the kids are Nika.
They're, definitely, yeah.
How old are they again? 6 and...
No, and Matteo is almost 4 and Megan is 8.
Yeah. And Matteo, he's a blonde kid. He doesn't look any the least bit Spanish. She does a little bit more, but my God, they're adorable.
Yeah, Matteo is like one of the vikingos, as I always said. Yeah, he's like 100%. If you look at him in Dutch, yeah. But he is so Nicaraguan. He eats tortillas and gallo pinto in the morning. Yeah, nothing Dutch about it.
My name is Fernando Montiel.
I also met Fernando Montiel.
I am the general manager of a company called Movasa. This company have 3,000 cattle in Nicaragua.
He's the general manager of a company with 3,000 cattle.
That they go to grass.
The idea with the company is that investors make money by helping local farmers.
We have close to 65 farmers.
Farmers that otherwise wouldn't be able to have that many cattle.
Every farmer have something like 50 cattle. Our company Movasa give it to him the cattle. They grow in 8 months, 10 months, and after this go together to the slaughterhouse. The slaughterhouse give it to us as better price than a little producer in Nicaragua.
When they get to the slaughterhouse with a big company, they will be able to get a better price than they would if they just came as a local independent cattle producer.
They usually receive something like $300 to $500 monthly in his family.
Normally, these people make between $300 and $500 a month.
And when we go together, these people receive something like $150 yearly.
With this project, they can have an annual income of $150 per cow. So if they take care of enough cattle, they can double their income.
This means that these people can duplicate his income in a short time.
So it's a business, of course, where the company makes money, but also it's helping the local farmers.
Yeah, that's right. And usually, for example, we receive money from friends of Europe, from Danish people, that give it to us to 8.5% yearly. If you have your money in the bank in Denmark or in
we get nothing.
You need to pay about it.
Yeah.
So everyone is happy because they are give it to us the opportunity to take a little development to people in the rural areas of Nicaragua working.
And I have a small stake in that, so I was sort of hoping to see my cows, and but I guess they're out there, and you're taking good care of them.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
See.
Do you remember my episode from the Bahamas, where there was a lot of talk about island time? You know, where the locals have a relaxed view on meeting times and appointments. The same thing exists here. They just call it Nika time. And when I ask Ellen if there's anything bad to say about life in Nicaragua, she becomes quiet for a while, and then she says...
People not, if you have a meeting at 9 o'clock, people show up at 10. There's those things. I'm so European, and we are very punctual.
But you've been here 16 years.
But still, I don't look... If I invite people at 8 o'clock, I still expect them to be at 8 o'clock. Yeah. For example, my husband, oh my God, if I know we're leaving at 7 o'clock in the morning, oh no, most of the time it's 8 or 9 o'clock. There are the things I really don't like about Nicaragua.
It's a special Nika time.
It's Nika time. Yeah, it's Nika time, yeah.
Well, I can tell you it is... over most of the world that kind of special time, and they all say, "Oh, this is Thai time, this is Vietnam time, this is Greenland time." They have it as well.
But to be honest, if you ask me if I miss something from Holland, the last time I've been back to Holland 5 years ago, The thing is, my family loves Nicaragua. They escaped from the cold winters. They're coming here. And my kids are going, of course, they're going to school. So their holidays are in the European winter. So it's not fun to go to Holland in December.
So you don't miss those wonderful Dutch biscuits?
But of course, everybody who comes over...
And the cheese and
yes, the cheese I miss, but the good thing
Queen's Day?
No, not anymore. Not anymore. Especially now it's not the Queen anymore. Huh? No, but yeah, of course, the cheese and the candy, the drop, the liquids, the black one.
The tulips.
But so many
windmills.
There's so many people come over and they bring me there. So yeah.
A quick disclaimer. Through my part ownership of a group of radio stations that I co-founded back in Denmark, I also own a small part of Paraíso Granada, the cattle company, and an eco-lodge, Manco Lake Paradise, that you'll hear more about in the next episode. I mean every word I've said in this episode, and even though I was able to stay here for free, I was not obligated or paid for to say anything I didn't mean. I just feel you should know this. And that was almost it for this episode. In a moment you can hear my first interview in Spanish after 5 days of learning Spanish with Vanessa. But before that, let me remind you that I would be so thrilled if you would give me some stars in Apple Podcast or in your podcast app. And if you have a few minutes, please write a few lines in a review. It helps other people find this podcast. You can reach me on mail if you have any feedback or questions or tips for me on what to see and who to talk to when I get to a new destination. I promise that I'll answer any email I get on mail@theradiovagabond.com. You can follow me real time, where I am right now, on the official Facebook page, facebook.com/PalaRadioVagabond, and on Instagram and Twitter as Radio Vagabond. Find all these links at theradiovagabond.com, where you can also see a lot of pictures. You can see pictures from the streets of Granada and from Paraíso Granada, where I stayed. Okay, here it is, my first interview in Spanish, without subtitles, so if you don't speak a word of Spanish, this is very simple Spanish for beginners, so take a few lessons and come back and you will understand everything.
Tengo miedo.
My first interview in Spanish.
Tengo miedo.
Vanessa, ¿crees que yo soy un buen estudiante?
Sí, tú eres un buen estudiante, porque has estudiado el presente y el pasado irregular.
Irregulares.
Sí, los
muy
verbos irregulares.
irregulares.
Sí, los verbos irregulares son muy difíciles, pero...
¿Qué es el mejor de vivir en Nicaragua?
Lo mejor de vivir en Nicaragua es poder disfrutar cada día sin preocuparte de mañana, porque aquí todas las personas tienen esperanzas, tienen sueños y no es importante el dinero, lo más importante es la familia, vivir unidos y cerca.
¿Y qué es el peor?
Lo peor son los políticos, porque son corruptos y se han enriquecido con los recursos de Nicaragua.
¿No tengan un buen presidente?
No, claro que no. En mi opinión, no. No es el mejor presidente, es el peor.
¿Qué harías si fueras presidente de Nicaragua mañana?
Si fuera presidenta, primero quitaría el sueldo de los políticos o ellos ganarían muy poco dinero. Lo mínimo. Así a nadie le gustaría ser político. Y construiría escuelas, que es lo más importante, pero para el gobierno no es lo más importante. Es un problema la educación para los políticos. Sí.
Gracias.
Con mucho gusto.
Mi primera entrevista en español.
Muy bien.
Gracias.
Yo tengo miedo.
Es muy difícil.
In the next episode, I'll bring you on a trip that I did with my new good Canadian friend John Pappas north of Managua to visit an orphanage and a cigar factory.
In French, we say un raison d'être. I was always looking and searching for my purpose in life, and I found it. I
also met a local artist, and I'm so looking forward to sharing this with you. It's all in the next episode here from Nicaragua next Monday. My name is Palle Bo. See ya.